Oh, I was muted. Fuck. Started muted again. I keep trying to become a real boy. And I keep messing it up. I always start muted. This is my brand. It's on purpose. How's everyone doing? Hello everybody. Howdy. Welcome in everybody. We're here. We are very happy to sure of the day. Thank you, Glenn. Sure of the day today is Tom Jones. Not unusual. It's not unusual. And look who is coming into the Ken Cam. Look who's coming into the Ken Cam. He's confused. He's like, what's going on here? What's this? Okay. Doesn't have to be Ken. Huh. Okay, hang on. Gotta just make a quick edit here. Gotta quickly edit. Oh, and we got the kiss the cat. Where's my thing? One second. Oh, and Vogue. Ooh, Passion. Okay, album of the day is Vogue. Madonna's band. Yeah, well, of course. What, do you think I'm gonna just say Vogue? That'd be crazy. God, I love this song. Okay, hang on 1 second, y'all. I need to do a couple things. I need to put that back in where it belongs. Gotta put the, just replace this with that. Gotta remember to change this back to where you can see the cat, etc. Forgive me, I'm still just, I'm just a little behind here. Okay. Bingy. Let him see you. Alright, kiss the cat time. Yeah, look at that. Look at that stuff. Tasty. Tasty, look at that. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That is just full of catnip at this point. You guys lost in the sauce. Absolutely lost in the sauce. Okay. Too much catnip in that bed. I gotta fix it. Aaron, welcome in on the full screen of the computer. It's exactly where it's. You gotta get the full. Look at 60 frames per second. 60 frames. Look at that. You see the cat bigger? It's great. And Alex Erickson, thank you so much. Thanks for joining and thanks for supporting. I don't know if there's anything we can do to make it more comfy here for you, but try our best. Maybe you like Cozy Mondays the most. Those are pretty comfy. Okay. Al, I love this joke. Stop hitting me. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry, I'm just kind of settling in. I was a little bit behind today because I honestly forgot that we were doing 2 clocks on Saturdays for a second. I set the schedule, I fucked it up. But I got here. We're here. So I would like to first off say thank you to I would like to say thank you to Alex Erickson, Michaela Potato. Thank you very much, both of y'all. Michaela Potato sent some support off stream. Got some merch. Really looking forward to seeing how that looks. If you post it in the channel on Discord. If you're not in Discord, come join us. Pretty fun in there. And one of the things you can do in the Discord is you can submit some things for me to react to. That is the new thing that you're gonna get to do because of reaching our goals yesterday on stream. That was pretty fun. So thanks for doing that, for successfully doing that. And we are, yeah, the mods are gonna curate a list of things that I should react to based on what you submit. So if you submit, you know, Pain Olympics, I will not watch Pain Olympics again. This is been a long time, and I've managed to forget, and I just brought it up again. The internet was you know, the internet's fucking crazy, but it was worse at the beginning. In some ways, it wasn't worse, but there were these you know, the Gen Z kids are all talking about like, oh, I grew up on. I'm weird. I grew up with like, don't hug me, I'm scared. And I'm just like, you don't know what was. You don't know what we saw. You don't know what we saw. Okay, we saw the things you cannot imagine. Because we had infinite access to everything, and we were children, and we saw horrifying things. But we're here now, and now it's great. And we got Fishman's playing. We got a cat in the corner. Bingy's getting high on that catnip. And we're gonna play Dead Space. You know what I mean? We're gonna play Dead Space. Y'all like Dead Space? Has everybody played Dead Space before? I've never played this before. I know that this was supposed to be a classic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. Oh, and also the community designed Hell Pizza I'm going to do tomorrow at the end of the Red Dead stream. So if you tune in towards the end of the Red Dead stream, you will see me eat that hellish pizza. Also, Passion, linking the Wendy Carlos site. For the did they ever take down the Space Jam website? That was up for like years. That was another classic. Old internet. Hell Pizza's tomorrow. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing some submissions. And I've seen what is winning. And you know, yes, it doesn't feel right to me to put that on a pizza. It's gonna be hellish for me. But I think that the real hell is gonna be me putting as many of the toppings on that I can. I think like it's gonna be the dip that's gonna do it, but also like we said originally that it's gonna be the top 3. I might make it like the top 4 or 5. I might make it like even more hellish, just to make sure we do this properly. You know what I mean? And we got to choose the dip. It's gonna be really bad. I'm not looking forward to it. Or maybe I'll do like a half and half. I don't know. I'll make sure to make it extra hellish, and y'all can laugh, and it'll be fun. All right, who wants to play a game? Who wants to play a game? All right, so here we are. Thank you, Fishmans. Go away now. Ciao. So, okay, so let's see here. So, menu narration? What's that?
Menu narration.
No. Sorry. don't think that I think that might. That's a little too accessible for me. Let's do subtitles, yeah?
Voice language. English.
Listen to her.
Menu narration.
Should we do a different voice language? Should we do Japanese? No Japanese? Damn. Okay, let's see here. So, I turn the capture card up a little bit. Okay, difficulty medium. Content warning prior to scenes that could be potentially disturbing. I think I'd rather just say to everyone that this is like a fucked up horror game and it's supposed to be kind of spooky and fucked. So like, overall content warning rather than, I don't want to like go into scenes and know that it's about to happen, right? Is that fair? Yeah. Okay, what other settings we got? Content warning. This is Dead Space. The whole thing is not nice. Okay, controls. I don't think I need to change any of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna roll with it. Oh, subtitles maybe. If there's any accessibility stuff, I want to make sure that we're. How do these subtitles look size-wise? Should I do that? White on black is probably best. Background opacity. Yeah, speaker name. Now the only thing I'm wondering is the subtitles. This is the only downside with the full screen thing. So thank you, Passion. Thank you for the command. Is this okay that there's? I don't know. You prefer the full screen, right? All right. Fuck it. Let's go. We ball. All right. Is this bright enough for you, chat? I know that it's a little different on. Thank you, Wizard Boats. That means a lot. That's really sweet of you to say that. All right, 55. Okay.
Isaac, it's me. Oh, I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. Oh, I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing.
That's her. Nicole?
Yeah. First deferred from her in weeks.
We're 5 minutes out. You still got that thing on repeat? Guess you really miss her.
Fishermer is not a job you turn down, but 6 months apart with only vid calls? It's rough. Easy to say the wrong thing.
I don't blame you. I'd listen to my girlfriend over Hammond reciting.
This is the remake, yes, Paulina.
Forewarned is forearmed, Miss Daniels.
So you keep saying.
Here we go. Nice clean re-entry. Welcome to Aegis 7.
This looks
6
good.
months staring at that chunk of rock.
To an independent miner, that's paradise. Aegis 7 is one of the richest finds in CEC history. Some prospecting teams set up for life. Now where is she?
There. Confirming visual contact with USG Ishimura.
Oh, look at that ray. Look at that
What a
little
beauty.
lens flare.
Biggest planet cracker in her class, you know. And it looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it so dark? We should be able to
Yummy.
see your running lights.
Yummy lens flare.
I'll get us into hailing range. Someone's got to be waiting up for us.
Just be careful on the approach. I'm not taking any chances with the CEC.
This is me.
No chances, huh? Is that why you were digging into my personnel files before we left?
You check your file access.
I'm a computer analyst. Comes with the job.
Yes,
I ran
PS5
standard CEC
passion.
background checks with
This,
Daniels.
these,
If you want to work in the big leagues, you have to play ball.
I'm so spoiled. I've
We're in
been
hailing range.
playing as so many hot protagonists lately.
USG Ishimura. This is the
And no
emergency
offense,
team
but
of
you know,
USG
it's no
Captain
Arthur
Scott
Morgan.
Distress call. Come in, Ishimura. Ishimura, do you copy? Come in. This is a USG Kelly.
You ever hear of a full communications black? I don't know what to say.
Never. Come on. Someone pick up the damn phone.
Oh, my room is peeking from the green screen. Thank you, Passion.
The hell is that?
That's a little bit of a. Oops.
Sounds like their communication array is busted. Maybe a broken encoder. Daniels and I can handle it in 48 hours, max.
Wait, oh my god. Charisse, that permitted term?
Yeah, I hope so.
Charisse,
Jen,
can you
Johnson,
screen grab that?
take us in.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automated docking. Let's go.
Oh shit. Uh-oh.
We're off course.
Guidance system override isn't responding.
Shit, we're coming in too hot. It's gonna smash us into the hull.
Jen,
Uh-oh, we're fucked.
stabilizer. There, the blue light. It might slow us down.
What am I doing to help? Nothing. Very helpful, guy. Great job, Isaac.
I'll live. Hey, Johnston. All right?
It's my ankle. Might be broken.
Shit.
Dang.
But better than a broken neck. Or worse. Good call on the
For
stabilizer.
the Civ?
Isaac.
Gotta always read the manual.
What the fuck's going on with flight control? That guidance system's a death trap.
Better add it to your repair list. Jen, what's our damage?
Comms are down. We lost the port booster. Got a fire in one of the stabilizers and... Singularity core's a mess. Could be worse, but not by much.
Then let's get some help. Johnston, stay with the Kelly. We'll send a medic. Everyone else, with me.
Yeah, put the helmet on. That's good. That's good idea. This is good. Now I like the character. That's good. Okay, we did that. Good job. All right, cool. So I have a feeling you're gonna be the voice on the radio. Feeling security team's not gonna be. They're not gonna do too well. You're gonna be fine over here because your ankle
got something?
being hurt. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you when you're.
But I've had worse.
Talk to you when your voice
Go
in
on.
my
I'll
ear.
get it strapped up.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Why don't you can send me a waypoint later when I'm experiencing dead space. You can send me a waypoint. That's just my guess. Maybe you can just send me a waypoint later.
I've got this, Isaac.
Okay.
Go get help.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Wink, wink. All right, let's see how this goes. Chen.
Not a great start to our repair mission.
Pulse rifles?
Standard procedure, Miss Daniels. We'll register them in the flight lounge.
You can't tell that this shit's all fucked?
That landing.
Be proud, Chen. You gotta see her in one piece.
Johnson might disagree. But you're off and about the first round tonight.
Can I have a
Something
gun?
to steady my nerves, especially on CEC's.
All you are gonna die, obviously.
You see anyone in flight control?
None of you is named Dead Space. Okay, I'm Isaac Dead Space, and I'm the only one who will survive because I'm wearing a helmet.
It holds the record for the highest number of planet crashes, with 34 today, and highest dead weight of refined product at 14 trillion.
Hi, I'm Isaac Dead Space.
Whether you'll be joining us aboard the issue
Why are you looking at me like that? Okay.
May as well get signed in.
on the property, Captain Science
Okay. Ooh, yeah. Scan me.
Isaac Clarke, to the USG Ishimura.
Wow.
Rig synced. Collect kinesis and stasis modules
I like
from
my little
acting
spine.
Chief Engineer Jacob Temple. Location? Error. Employee not found.
I can't reach security.
Same for the chief engineer. What is wrong with their comms?
Thanks, Al. Oh, so we can go? Yeah, okay. Huh. I thought we'd have more friends here to greet us. Maybe there's something going wrong on this spaceship.
Someone left in a hurry.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Where's the security detail? Where's anybody?
There's nothing logged. No duty roster. No
Duty.
power to the elevator.
For God's sake. That security console's still working. Isaac, get a damage report. I'm done playing around.
Ah. Oh, thanks for the locator.
On the floor here. Seth?
Isaac, I need that damage report.
What's on the floor? Where?
Oh God, that smell.
What have you got, Isaac?
Uh-oh.
It's not just comms with the guidance system. Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull,
Uh-oh. Them being on the other side of this glass.
Could do that kind of damage to a planet cracker.
I can... Yeah. I have a bad feeling about this.
Ventilation's up. Power to the elevator should be.
Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Another malfunction?
No. The quarantine systems are all fine.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it.
Batman?
Take it easy. Daniels, get those elevators on.
There's something in here with us.
Oh, shit. Oh, boy!
Daniels, get the doors open!
That thing's not good. That's rough. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Where? Run where? Run where? Okay. Gave him the slip. Okie dokie. Aye. Okay, gotta go. Okay, gotta go this way. Gotta go fast. Get to safety. What's this? Cool. Okay. Okay, no, I don't like that. Got it. What? Okay. Good elevator. Got it. Alright, Dead Space. Hello, my name's Isaac Dead Space, and I came to this spaceship to just take my mind off of things back home. And okay, please someone help me. Oh God, where is I need to find the rest of me? Please, anyone. I'm all over the deck. Let me in. Cut off their limbs, says the blood on the wall. Okay. Okay. That's a nice mechanic. I'll take some more plasma energy. I'll take some credits. Hey, B1, B2, Bitins saying playing this game would stress me out. Haha. One of those games I'll watch instead of playing. Happy to be here today. How are you, Miles? I am doing great. I'm doing great. I'm glad to be playing this game, so you don't have to follow me. Follow me on Twitch. Make sure to, hey everybody out there, make sure to tune in to me on twitch.tv/smilesguthrie. That's where you are right now. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. Okay, this goes. Oh God. Okay. That fucking sucked. This is gonna be the whole game? Okay. Hi, my name is Isaac Dead Space, and I'm just a guy. I'm just a normal guy with a cool razor blade shooter. I'm gonna slice your knees if you're scary. If you're scary, I'm gonna slice you. That's... Hey Sage, yeah, I love the game and it's going great. I'm not afraid or worried. I'm having a normal time, feeling great.
Security request retrieved.
It didn't die. We shot that fucker right between the eyes and it didn't die. Smith had to shoot its fucking arms and legs off. For God's sake, send help!
Alright, I'm gathering that you have to shoot its arms and legs off in order to win. Why did he move like that? Oh, damn it. Okay. Med pack. Okay. Circles to use the health pack. Okay. Come on, you fucks. Come on, you fucking spindly fucks. Where are you?
Isaac. Oh my God, Isaac. You made it.
They're everywhere. Chen, is he,
He's gone. Nothing I can do.
Yeah, Chen looks super fucking dead, dude.
The ones I saw, some of them were wearing Ishimura uniforms.
They're the crew? How the hell can they be the crew? Look at them.
We need to get to the bridge. There's 1,000 people on board. Someone will be there.
We can't. The tram system's wrecked.
1,000?
Everything's locked down because of the quarantine.
And you're both repair techs. So how do we do this?
There's a broken tram car blocking the tunnel.
How do we do this?
And the data board's burned out. I can't lift the lockdown or call the tram until we get a spare from the maintenance bay. But it's all on Isaac's side of the quarantine.
I'll handle it. Just make sure there's power to the repair systems.
And I said they're gonna be...
I'm sure Nicole's okay. She's the doctor, right? She'll do the smart thing.
Yeah. Yeah, she always does. Find somewhere safe. I'll be back soon.
Alright, so they're on the phone. Get the tram running. Okay. Map. Okay. Missions, get the tram running. Okay. Gotta save. All right. Thank you all for being, thank you all very much. Just a quick pause to say thank you to the mods. Thank you, the mods. Thank you very much to the schmods. Thank you very much, schmods. I am... Okay, I am gonna... I'm zooming into this game right now. This game is just getting started. We got a lot of playtime ahead of us. I might not be quite as active with chat today because I'm immersed and spooked. but I am very grateful to have you all here, and I hope that you're enjoying getting spooked along my side as friends. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Fucking spindly fucks. Alright, where's all the spider people? Okay, spider boys. I got 10 razor blades for ya. Okay, there's one. Oh, that's just a normal guy? What's up? Are you regular? That's regular. That's not a spider. I guess the spider friend is up there somewhere? Oh, jeez. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Got a stasis module. Off an arm. Huh. Oh, I gotta use a stasis module. Slow that door down. That's cool. That's fun. That's a nice mechanic. All right, mechanics. Oh, Mindcogni, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you very much. Remember very much to always like and subscribe. Always subscribe, like, and remember to tag your god. And never stop chatting. Thank you, chat. Stasis recharging. Okay. Do I have to use stasis packs? One save slot miles. One save slot miles. Let's go. That's my brain. Ah! I should have saved twice. Fuck. Okay, 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 okay. Ah! What? What was that? What was it? Oh, that was good sound design. Fuck.
Isaac, don't bother shooting those fuckers in the head. Doesn't even slow them down.
Okay. The only way is hacking them apart. Those
Oh, I can smack with my foot.
Does that even kill them? Or do they just stop moving?
I'm gonna smash stuff with my foot. I'm gonna spend the whole game trying to step on things now. Oh, look at these nodes that I found. Love nodes. Audio log.
Retrieved.
Vents into engineering. You got a stasis module handy? We need one in tram maintenance stat. The autoloader's fried. I got a damaged tram car on the tracks, and if the whole system's gridlocked, guess who they're calling? Temple here, sending a stasis module now. What happened to the autoloader? No idea. A lot of shit's been breaking down. I keep hearing things. Down in the gears where no one could be. You know? I know.
Okay.
Repair systems online. Loading system reinitialized.
Give me those credits. I stumped on that thing. Oh.
Autoloader malfunction. Please contact a repair technician.
Give me that energy. Love plasma. Love plasma.
Right loader clear.
Ah! 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 What? When did that happen? Where did he come from? You're telling me that these spider people can be just everywhere? Come on. Yucky. It's a real yucky kind of game, isn't it? Alright, so what am I gonna do here? It's not right.
Right loader claw disengaged.
Any luck moving that tram car?
The autoloader's busted, but stasis should do the trick. Just gotta time it.
Great. But hurry, okay? Sound carries down here.
Right loader claw engaged.
Cool. How do I do the other one? Okay. Ah! Fuck you! Fuck you! Get fucked! Get fucked! Ah! Fuck you, guy. Fuck you. Get stomped. Get stomped. Oh my fucking god. There more? This is gonna be the whole game, huh? This is gonna be the whole game. Thank you for the GG. So much.
Left loader claw engaged.
So fucking scared.
Replacing damaged tram car. Please stand by.
How many health packs do I have? Oh. They really snuck up on me is the thing. I don't mind if they come up. Oh, I see a guy. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Why are you fast? Why are you fast? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop scaring me. Oh god. Well, where? Okay. Stop scaring me. Stop.
Tram replacement complete.
You got it. The tram was jamming the whole system.
That's one down. You said a data board was fried too?
Inventory says there's a spare board in the maintenance bay. We can't run the trams without it.
Cool. Alright. Ooh, stasis recharge. Wait, what? Thanks for the juice. I see that it's on my back. That's nice. That's a good design. Team, that my health is my spine and my magic powers is a little shoulder blade circle. That's very good. I'm Isaac Dead Space, and I came here to say fuck you to this guy who's about to try to kill me. Come on. You're fucked. Where are you going? Come look, just look at me in the eyes if you want to try to kill me. Come look at me in the eyes. Thanks for the posture check. Thank you. Spine health, yes. Okay, how do you know he wants to kill you? That's a very good point, actually. I don't actually know that. Okay, chill. Daddy, chill. Oh no. Daddy, chill. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? You can, they're allowed to do that? They're allowed to do that? Terrible. Terrible thing to do. Okay. Yeah, find the data board. Got it. Yeah, no problem. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. This is this thing. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to do the same thing I do in Resident Evil, which is accidentally pour the healing juice on myself like all the time. And I might waste a few health packs, I gotta say. Alright, whatever. This is just a video game. It's just a normal video game. Medium difficulty. I can do it. Don't scare me anymore. Don't scare me anymore, you spider people. Don't. Go for it. Oh, I thought. Stop it. Huh? I can only do one at a time, huh? Why are you attached to my foot? Stop it. Stop. Get off me. Get off. Torso. Save. Okay. Lakazar, not yummy torso, please. Oh god. Alright. Fuck this. Fuck this game. Fuck you, guy. Eat shit. Ah! How come you stomp me? I stomp you see? Now, there's a problem that I'm seeing with this game. Never mind, I don't, I'll talk to you later. Talk to you later. Thank you, Lauren Weston, I'm a regular guy, thank you. Al, thank you for that. Okay, okay, hang on. Okay, where? Okay, I hate this guy. There you go. Now, here's the problem. Okay, the problem with this game is that, like, I don't want to test the limits of Rule 34. I don't want to test the limits of Rule 34 when it comes to Dead Space. This is, like, really where we're pushing it. And I'm just afraid because I know that it's out there. And I know I brought it up, but it's when things like this happen that I remember that the internet is a cursed place. And I'm afraid. And that's more afraid, it's more fear-inducing than the game itself. Everyone relax. Okay, look, I brought it up, okay? Ah, Siobhan. Siobhan working hard for those Hall of Fame comments here. Siobhan, our Hall of Fame is just gonna be some of the most deranged, thirsty posting. Oh god, okay. Where are we going? Big Bug Boy, I love that, and I really like that, thank you. I really like that. That's me. The chicken who sings made the egg. There's gonna be a guy in here, isn't there? Kenzie, I know. I'm not... We all do. It's true. It's not just Siobhan. It's all of us. I brought it up. Okay, come on, spider guys. Come on, spider guys. The chat wants to make fan art of you. Chat wants to make fan art of you in all sorts of compromising positions. Where are you? Come on. Get out here. Come on, we want to see what you can do with your scythe fingers. Come on. Oh, jeez. Which one of these is alive still? Better just stomp him. That's alive, no? Yep. Oh, that didn't work? Okay. Thank you for the sip. Hold on. Monsters, please drop the nail tag. I love this chat. Y'all are so good. It's the best community on Twitch. I love it. I don't know how I got so lucky. Alright, we got text log. I'm kind of jealous that y'all get to be on the chat this whole time. Like, I gotta pay attention on these spider monsters. And you got lots of other good stuff happening here. Okay, what happened to the Ishimura? Faulty. Shit's fault. Oh, the faulty 40 scope. Okay, what? Doesn't mean anything to me. All right, I think I'm some kind of spaceship technician. I think I'm some kind of repair tech. Oh, I don't know that stuff. I don't like that at all. What the fuck? Wrong choice, wrong choice. What's that? Get fucked. God damn. Hate you guys. Bad guys. Look at me all covered in their spaghetti sauce. The fact that, I mean, how old is this? How long is this game? This game's like probably like 15 hours. We're gonna have like 15 hours of talking about lubing up those scythe hands. Chat. I love chat that y'all manage to be horny over anything, and I mean that as a compliment. It's really perfect. Okay, wait, so I can't. Oh, jeez. Where am I supposed to go? Okay, hang on. Maintenance room, lights, elevators. Got it. Marit! Oh where's Marit? Where's Marit? What did she say? Oh, hi. Okay, I'm on your TV. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna wave. Hold on. Wait. Let's do this. Here we go. Ready? Ready for this, Marit? Also, we're about to take a quick little potty break. So hold on. Okay, Marit. Okay. Now I'm on your TV a second time. Check that out. Check that out. Oh, Johnny, you're leaving? Johnny, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for yesterday, for being such an incredible support of that charity. Both you and Mart. Thank you so much. Y'all did an incredible job. And Johnny, thank you for that gift sub to Lakazar, too. I'm just checking back in with everything that we got going here in the chat. Double TV, Mart, I hope you're having a lovely day. Sending lots of love to you. And thank you as well again for yesterday. We had such a fun time yesterday. It was a lot, and y'all did an incredible job. We raised over $6,200, over $6,200 for TEP. And Johnny, Blue Wolf Angel, Marit, y'all were all stars. That was unbelievable. Caroline as well. Steph Puck, Awi, Optimus, aka Siobhan, Lucy, Laura Money, Megs, Asuka, Maniac of Noise, Teddy Leo, Patrick Melody, Yui. Those were some of the folks who showed up extra in that donation, and I really appreciate that. But for all of you who donated as well, thank you so much. Marit, I hope you enjoy me on your big screen, huge screen. Huge, giant screen. Okay, we're gonna take a little pause. I'm gonna get something to sip on, and we're gonna get back to smashing the Spider-Ussy, according to the chat. I'm gonna kiss the cat real quick first. Olivia, thank you. Time to kiss that cat. That guy. Smell like poop. Mouth smells like poop. All right, he's a little stinky guy. Look at that guy. A little stinky. All right, everyone. BRB. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Welcome back. How's everyone doing? Welcome back, everybody. How are we doing? Oh, we got Zachy Boy in the chat. Welcome, Zachy. Welcome on in. You did not scare me. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid. I am too brave. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Brave boy. Real brave boy. Playing spooky games 2 days in a row. That's right. Let's give some love to the cat real quick. Let's give a little... We love this cat. Don't we? Check that out. Wow. Beautiful. Look at this. You magical cat. I gotta get more sound. Let's kind of running these sounds in the ground, aren't I? Lots of love for the cat. Let's give a quick kiss to the cat. Everyone just Just real quick. Arthur likes me because I'm a regular normal guy. Just regular normal guy. Okay, let's get to it. I gotta just tie my thing again. Gotta get my hair out of my face so I can get spooked proper. And let's get to it. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday, Arthur. Zach, have you played Dead Space? Played Dead Space yet? Fucking spooky. All these spider guys. Yeah, they just did a remaster, Zach. Yeah, they just did a remaster. It's fresh. That's what we're playing right now. It's a fresh remaster of Dead Space. Looks great. Looks really good. Okay, getting in this elevator. Yeah, it came out yesterday. Zach, you gotta stay hip. This is my first time. I'm enjoying it though. I don't think remaster is the same as a remake. Because I think a remake implies, like, the Final Fantasy remake is, like, very different game mechanics and all that kind of stuff. I think it's, like, remaster just means they just update the, they just update it graphically. They, you know, they make it look better, but they don't, like, change any mechanics or anything. I think remake is like oh, fuck you. Don't, yeah, oh yeah, eat fucking shit. Oh my god, you have a friend! God damn it. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. Oh shit, okay. There you go. How was that? How was that for you? Is that fun? Are you glad that you stepped to me? Are you glad that you stepped to me? I'm Isaac Dead Space. And I don't want to have any trouble here. So why don't you just stay home, stay away from me, stay inside your spider hole, and we won't have any problems.
Joker, you know I love BB.
How did that happen? What the fuck was that? Who did that? How did that... I don't know who's pranking me, but someone's pranking me. And I don't know how I feel about it, okay? Who did that? Zach, how'd you do that? Was that a sound alert? How does that... Don't fuck with me. Zach, how did you... There's no way. Zach can't play sound alerts on his own channel. There's no way he just did that. What was that? Okay. Thank you, Marv, for the I'm not joking. Thank you for the I'm not joking, bitch. Zach, how did you do this? I don't like that. I mean, it was good for the bit, but hang on, y'all. This isn't working very well. I need to get my hair out of my face. Okay. Okay. Another circuit breaker. Oh, I went the wrong way? Hello, Tiff. Welcome in, Tiff. Just in time. See Zach find a way to yell at me on my own stream? How'd this happen? Alright, gotta find this data board now. Okay, so I guess I did this wrong. I guess I'm supposed to do this. This sucks. Turn off the lights, damn it. Zay, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you very much. All right, let's I had to turn off the lights, really? Why are all these people's bodies so gooey? I think we need drier corpses. That's what we need. I want drier corpses. Ashen, I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of you showing up just to drop that.
Isaac, we can't stay here much longer.
I'm afraid. I don't know.
There's a lot of movement.
Hold on. I got the data board. I'm coming back to tram control now.
Daniels, get ready to go.
Hold on, I just gotta read about poker night. Hold on. Alright, they're really unloading in their text message about poker night, but that's okay, you can trauma dump. Let's activate this upgrade. Let's go. Upgrade time. Okay, suit, more health. Plasma cutter damage. Let's do one of each here. I'm gonna go for damage, I think. How does this work, though? Oh, I have to start. Got it. Okay. And then I'll do the suit as well. A little bit extra HP. What's Zach doing? Is Zach doing stuff to get him timed out? No, Zach, don't. Would you rather this? Chat, okay? This is not. The space is safe. Unless you want to. You can contribute bits. Oh, thank you, Mara, for timing out Zach. Thank you very much for timing out Zach. Zach, if you want to do a would you rather, then you have to be the first person to redeem the text to speech. All right, Zach, if you redeem text to speech, you can would you rather the chat. I don't take it seriously. Oh fuck, what is that? God damn it! Stop doing this. Fuck you, guy. Oh, Tiff, did you just got here? Zach, welcome back. Sorry that you were timed out. No more nipples or wieners. Oh, Zachy, thank you for the gift sub. Okay, you can do a quick. Okay, Zach, you can do a quick. Would you rather? No, I don't want to see any nipples or wieners. And I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to answer, but you're allowed to say it without getting timed out. How's that? Oh, come on. Fuck you. Zach, we love you. We're just teasing. Oh, would you rather... Oh, now you're gonna make me feel bad, Zach. Now you're trying to... With a very wholesome, would you rather give me a hug or a kiss on my cheek? So manipulative. Be careful about men like this, okay, chat? You know what he wants to say. But I give you a big kiss on the cheek, Zach. Or give you a big kiss on the cheek and a big hug. A way to try to manipulate the chat against me, alright? Ah! Why did the sound happen? What, they're really gonna just do me like that? One save slot. One save slot, Miles. Why did he keep... Why? Is that a glitch? Why does he keep doing that? What did Passion do? Is that you doing that? Fuck you! God damn it. The world is against me. How are you doing that through my overlays? How are you doing that, Passion? All right, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how the sausage was made. It was perfectly timed on the doors, Passion. I can't believe that you did it so well. Got me really good. I like it really. I was like, what? How is that? Zach out here with that. Can I get a shout out? Trying to get timed out again. Oh, no. Only one save slot. Okay, good. Ashen, thank you. Thank you for making him work for it. Okay, where are we going? This way. Yeah, alright, data board.
Data board reinstalled. System restart complete.
Thank you, Zachy. Thank you for the gift sub, Zaki. Marit timing out Zach for gifting us some. Stop it! You're getting me so good. Oops, Marit. No, 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 no. Zach, you don't deserve that. It wasn't 25. Right. Passion, I know that you'll get me in another 20 minutes and it'll be dynamite. What is that sound? We gotta make that redeemable.
Maintenance complete. Calling tram.
It's clear.
Now arriving at flight deck tram control.
We're on board. Something hit the roof, but it seems operational.
Oh no.
Quarantine lockdown's lifted, so you can get to the hangar. Comms are still down though, so be ready for anything.
What's the plan?
You and Johnston fix up the Kellyan. We report to the bridge. Standard emergency protocol.
What? Protocol? Hammond, people are dying here.
And I'm not losing anyone else. We stick to procedure.
What?
We'll get through this.
Why do you think that there's anyone alive here? This whole thing is fucked. What? I don't get it. Okay. Posture check. Thank you for the posture check. And welcome back, Pappers. Thank you for being here. All right. Oh, thank you for the sip. Everyone have a sip. Zach, I'm sorry that my mods are bullying you. Thank you for the gift sub. Thank you very much. Thank you. Look, mods, from now on, if Zach is not behasing, just spin him around a few times. Zach, we love you. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here to watch me get spooked. Oh, behase. All right. Do I gotta return to Kellyan? Alright. Why is there so many spooky sounds inside of this car? Okay, which way are we going? Gotta go in this elevator, good, okay. Alright, okay. Good. Come here. Come on, spiders. Don't clip that and subtitle and be like, this is what Miles said, come on, spiders. I don't want the spider lobby coming after me. Come on. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's go. Okay. Wait, what did he have? He had something else? He had an extra limb there. Stop. Okay, gotcha. Good. Found you. Silly. Silly guy. Don't be so... You guys are being so silly. You're being so silly. Such silly little silly billies. Such little silly billies. Okay, come on. Let's go. Chat, please stop talking about the time that I said come on spiders, okay? I didn't... It's not what I do. I don't do that.
Isaac, we made it to the bridge.
Unless that's what they like. You know, I'll do anything anyone likes. I'm a people pleaser, so I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna read all that. Okay. Okay, where are we going? Is there gonna be spooky stuff? Save. Always save. Welcome back, Rachel. No worries, you didn't miss anything. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened over here. Who's calling me? Someone's calling me. Hey, gotta get back to my car. Gotta get back to my car. Alright, should I answer? Hold on 1 second. Someone's calling. Again. Hello? What's that? What? Who's this? Who's calling? All right. It was someone prank calling me, but stop. Okay, hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. I gotta. This is actually someone is trying to be annoying, and I need to. Just 1 second, everyone. BRB. All right. Hello. I'm back. How's it going? Welcome back, everybody. I just had some spiders that needed a favor, and took care of that. So, all right, let's go play the game now. Gonna jump back in. Here we go. Hope you enjoyed some tunes, and let's get back to the game.
What have you got on you? Is that blood?
Haley, I need you to listen. The Yoshimuro's overrun with... They're fucking monsters. You didn't hear anything?
What? No, the comms are still out. Isaac...
We need to kill him fixed now. Got a damage report?
Yeah, it's there.
What, here? Put your helmet back on.
Oh god. This is the word core. Go!
Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, that didn't go well. Okay, it didn't go well. Okay. Alright. I thought that was gonna be the safe person. Okay. You're moving too fast. Graphics are good. The graphics are good.
Isaac, what's happening down there?
Johnson's gone. The Kellian too. The Singularity Core overloaded.
No!
Kellyanne was our only way home. We're trapped.
No! I'm not losing two good people for nothing. What about the command computer?
It's a brick. All the primary systems are locked down with the captain's codes.
So we find Captain Matthias, track his rig.
Okay, here.
You gotta
Captain
track his
Benjamin
rig.
Matthias. Location medical. Status deceased?
Even the captain? God.
Isaac, you're closer to medical. You can double back and cut through maintenance. Find the captain's body and get his rig. With his codes, we... What was that?
Uh-oh.
Chen?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, looks like there's some spookies going on. Oh, gotta go kiss my cat. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. 1 second. Okay, this is Yellow Box. Let me kiss you. Okay. Here we go. Oops, back in the game. Okay, which way do we go? Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, yep, sorry. Hey, how's it going? Are you okay? You good? No? Okay. Oh, I can buy and sell items. Looks like. Okay. In the store, items can be purchased with credits. Really, we're still doing money after all this. With all this that's going on, we're gonna still be doing money. We're still doing capitalism amongst all this. Crazy. Okay. In the store, items can be purchased with credits. From the store, sell items. Store things. Cool. Okay. think I'm good. I'm good. You want Big League Chew, Zaki? Big League Chew. I haven't had that in a long time. Have you, when was the last time you've had Big League Chew? I didn't know they still even did that, Zaki. Need more nodes. Alright. Gotta save. Alright. Okay, I need to just do a quick stretch and a little bit of potty break now that we saved up. Everyone have a good little break. I'll see ya in a minute. BRB. All right, what's up, everybody? I'm back, and we've got Rose Red with a gift sub to Luna Suck. Thank you very much, Rose Red. Zaki, thank you for those gift subs. You've redeemed yourself, and we love you. And I am very glad to have you all back here. Let's get back to the game. Hold on, I'm getting a little chilly. I'm just gonna put on a sweatshirt. Hold on, just wait 1 second. Keep looking at that cat. Yeah, look at the cat, chat. Keep looking at the cat, chat. Just keep looking at the cat. Just keep looking at the cat. Hold on, let me just... Good guy. Good guy. All right, there we go. Kiss the cat. Okay, everyone, let's game. Y'all like video games? Awesome. Awesome, me too. Let's game. Thanks, Roxy Music. All right, take a sip. Thank you. I'm in a comfy fit now. Oh, and it's Fernie. Fernie's back. Hi there, Fernie. Okay, let's see. Fernie, have you played this game? It's an old game, but it's just been remastered. It's looking fresh and crisp. Go for it, you guys can do it. It just came out for now. It's quite nice. It looks crispy. It's delicious. All right. Sorry, guy. Okay. I'm Isaac Dead Space. My name's Isaac Dead Space. And I'm a real, just normal guy. Just a regular guy. Okay, let's see. What's that? What does that do? That's Captain's rig? Kinesis. Okay. I can... Oh. Oh, look, I got a chair. Look at that. Oh, look. Oh, look, I got a trunk. Nice. That's fun. That's quite fun. Oh, look, I got this. Got it. Cool. Got it. 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 Look at that. I guess it's some kind of puzzle. I guess what I was dealing with was some kind of puzzle. Actually, in the end. What does this do? Nothing? Okay. Okay. You got me again.
Don't.
But I'm ready for it now.
Hold the line. They all came back.
You good? You need help? You need help? Okay. What's this hand doing? Ooh. It's like a little spear coming out of the hand. That's rough. Ooh, give me the rifle. Thank you. Look at this Fallout looking gun. Can I give her my medical juice or what? Alright. Inventory. You gotta add it to the weapon wheel. I can't believe this game has guns. Proximity mine. Huh. A tram station. Okay, let's go. Let's get on the tram. I have a rifle now, so I'm probably supposed to use it.
Lifting station lockdown.
I'm guessing you want me to use this when something comes out. No? Okay. It's really one of those, real monorail kind of situation. I guess we're going to the hangar cargo tram control.
Now arriving at flight deck tram control.
Okay. I went the wrong way. Sorry. Went the wrong way. Did I? Oh, I have to go back to medical? Oops. Oops. Oh, the Roxy music's still on the screen. Whoops. Very unprofessional of me. Okay. Ah, I see. I see, actually. Interesting, I see. Professionally unprofessional, right, Shreeze? Okay, so, what should we do here? Okay!
Isaac.
Why was that so scary?
We were attacked. She ran the other way.
No, nothing. Medical's a slaughterhouse. They barricaded access to the morgue.
The morgue?
Yeah. But the barricade was put together in a hurry. A hydrazine tank might blow it open. Just need a detonator, like maybe a shock pad. And Cole could be through there if...
Isaac. The one who attacked us. I swear to God it was Chen. But... I saw him die.
Yeah. You don't get what's happening?
If they barricaded the morgue, maybe it was to keep something in.
It blows my mind, the idea that humankind could go to a place where we're capable of interstellar space travel and nobody's watched a zombie movie. You know? Surely they had speculative fiction in this version of human culture. And it can't be like, oh, I swear this guy was like, I thought I saw him die. Then he came back as some kind of crazy, scary monster? That's nuts. I can't even picture that. Can't even imagine it. Where are we going? Gotta go find a hydrazine tank. Okay. Okay. That was scary. Stop whispering at me. Who's whispering me? Bernie, that's a very good point about the zombie movies. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, let's see here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. No. No. Naughty, naughty spider. No, 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 no. Not allowed. Not allowed. I'm normal. I'm not afraid. I love this game and I feel normal about it. What do you want? Who? What is that? That's you? Oh shit. Okay, okay, okay. Stop trying to kill me, spider guy. Get stepped on. Fuck you. Give me your pulse rounds. Thank you. Okay, oops. Alrighty. Ooh, I got some nodes. Love nodes. I love nodes. Okay, pulse rifle. I don't know. Is this even gonna be worth it, the pulse rifle? I feel like I'm just like I'm a pistol head at the end of the day. I want to hit this damage. One more air. I guess I'll just trust that this could use a little bit of juice added to it. Oh my god, why did that scare me? Fuck, okay. Hang on, alright. Okie dokie. Let's go. Be gone. What do I need to do here? Circle picture. I think I need to use this battery. Yeah. Look at that little puzzle. Look at that. Look what I did there. Oh, I can only do one at a time. Fuck. I'll do that. Is that alright? Oh, okay. Gotta find another battery. What am I doing wrong? Alright, the mine gun is not loaded right now. Thank you for the encouragement. What? Fuck. Okay, it's not on the cargo lift. Why? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey, 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 buddy, no thank you, stop it. Jeez Louise. This guy, crazy guy, acting crazy. I don't do that. Can I jump? No. For now, this game is spooky. Do you play it before? Am I the only one who never played this game? I gotta use this, I guess. Oh, look at that. Wow, look at that. Okay, alright. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Thank you. I'm just a normal guy. I'm Isaac Dead Space. Okay, let's smash that. Fernie, yeah, that's the idea. Like you got this is why you start a stream. So you can play with people. It's like people doing the hee hee ha ha's about wanting to fuck the spider people. Makes it a little bit less spooky. Yo, chill. Chill with it. You gotta get a camera and make some jokes. Cornelia, I'm looking forward to that. All right, what am I gonna read all that? Come on. All right, fine, I'll read it. Diagnoses are stacking up as fast as I can find them. Sleep paralysis, hallucinations, nightmares, paranoia. People are all fucked up. So you're saying, in so many words, people got all fucked up by this thing. And then they're working on hypothesis, treating the symptoms, seeing some improvements with sensory deprivation. There's just so many of them. There's some kind of alien monster. That's infecting all of these guys. Thank you for that, Star. I hope this is... Hell yeah, join us in following Flumperfern. Love that. Bernie, gotta get it going. I know you got the mics. Okay. Alright, I got... Oh, shit.
Zero gravity.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So this is... Okay. Why is this zero gravity? I'm walking around. I don't get how am I walking around then? Alright, need more air next time. Alright, can we close this up? No? Okay. Was this one up?
Exiting vacuum.
Fernelli, you have OBS too? I heard that they're making a lot of progress in curing that, so don't worry. Okay, let's see. Take off and land. I can navigate and... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I don't think I like this. Alright, that was okay. Made it through that.
Exiting zero gravity.
Yeah, everyone peer pressure Fernelli into streaming. Fernelli, actually, I would love to talk to you about this. I am trying to plan
What's happening there?
a
Did you find Nicole?
No sign of her
special
yet. But I found some
party at
hydrazine
my
that should work
house
on the
that is
barricade.
by DJs for
Just need to find a shock
DJs,
pad.
similar to
Okay.
New
Work
Year's,
fast,
but smaller, and stream the music. I think it'd be nice, like a little radio show party, somewhere between a party and a radio show, and it'll be our little boiler room. You know, we'll get Villalobos. We'll get who's that? Fuck, who's the DJ who was? The joke was they were like always being ranked #1 DJ in the world by RA. Who was that? Ah, fuck, it was like some DJ I'd like never heard of before called like Dustin or something. Okay, hey! It happened right when I pressed the door button. Passion, that was good. You got me. Congratulations. I'm giving you too much power. Too much. Wait, where are we? Where am I going? I gotta go back this way? Okay.
Entering zero gravity.
Gosh, man, I'd be so fucked. Are you kidding? Oh, what?
It shut the whole ship. I'll check it out.
Entering vacuum.
What? Oh, jeez. They're really gonna do me like this? Give me that. Ah! Okay, okay, okay.
God. Took one step out of the captain's nest and Chen.
Oh, fuck you. Are you serious?
I trapped him in a damaged escape pod. He's snarling like
Fuck
this
you.
is fucked up. Hurry, Isaac.
Oh my god, what the fuck? That sucked. I hated that. That was scary. Okay, well, where are we going? What? Jeez Louise. Okay.
Exiting zero gravity.
Okay. Need some schematics. cool it. Okay, okay. Oh my god, he's behind me. Oh jeez. Okay, okay. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Why won't it die? Fuck all of you monsters. I don't like you at all, and I'm sick of this. Sick of this shit. Captain Choquette, yes, there is a life bar. It is the spine on me right here. Isn't that cool? It's my little spine. Siobhan has redeemed. Go kiss, girl. Don't hang tight for 1 second. We just gotta go kiss that cat. This guy. Sorry I bothered you. Sorry I bothered you, Bingy boy. Here. Psych. One more. Good cat. Get paid for his time. Whoa, Paulina, Puss in Boots cosplay. That's a great idea. Hold on 1 sec here. Okay. Let's get back to it. Oops. All right. And bang. They shouldn't design their doors like that. You can only open them when you cut them. Big Bug Boy, that's not historically accurate, so I would not. And also, yeah, Luigi, are you kidding? I would love to do a cosplay with Ripley and Jonesy. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's take a save. Let's see here. Ah. Well, there's the stasis that you were asking about. Impaling and throwing. I can impale things? Oh my god. Where?
Hazardous anomaly detected.
What? What can I impale? Oh god. Fuck me. Oh god. Oh god. Go, 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 go. Fuck you. Oh my god. Oh, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. Fuck me. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm trapped. I can't move. I got trapped. I got trapped. Yeah, that's the first death. Okay. Can I stasis the baddies? Where's the sharp thing that they want me to throw?
Anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Where's the sharp object they want me to throw? I don't get it. I can stasis them. Oh god. Fuck all of you spider guys. Ah, come on. Okay, okay, okay. Oh my god, you're gonna jump at me like that? So I don't understand what the sharp things are that it was saying I can throw. I can impale. Like with their hands? Interesting. I guess that's what I can do. Okay, stop crying, ship. Okay, so that did something. Excuse me, gotta scoot. Gotta scoot, gotta scoot, gotta scoot. I didn't know this was gonna be such an action game. I thought it was gonna be more like Alien Isolation.
Quarantine lifted.
Alright. Issue sample needed. Well, let's do the trick. No. What about this one? Nope. Okay. Asus pack schematics. Gotta save. Bug Boy, I loved it. I played it a long time ago. That's the only reason it's not at the top of my list, because I've already done it, but I'm down. I'm down to do that. Sometime in the future. You're on the other side of the glass, dude. What am I supposed to do? Look at this thing. Look at that thing. That thing sucks. That thing sucks. Look at this fucking guy. Great. Great. Very good. Oh, great. Okay, well. Hey! Fucking guy shot me with his little. You shouldn't have done that. Why'd you do that? You get stepped on. Dude, I'm so sorry about what happened to you. This thing that came through your hand, spiked through your hand. That looks terrible. Are you okay? Want some help? Take a load off. There you go. Relax. Alright. Let's see here. Hey, buddy, show me your hands. Show me your hands. Yeah. There you go. Thanks, bud. Stepped on. Cool. Oh, hey, who did that? Oh, it's you? You're scary. You can be anywhere, huh? You can really be anywhere. All right, I'm gonna heal. Glenn, hell yeah, welcome back. Thank you so much for the renewed subscription. We love you and your cinnamon piss. Thank you for being here. All right, let's step on that. Let's get that. Let's hop around here. Let's see. Yeah, just keep going here. Should have known. Should have known. Okay. Thanks for the shock pad.
Daniels isn't answering her rig link. What's your status?
I found a shock pad I can use on the barricade. I'm heading back there now.
Watch the voltage on that pad. I'm not losing anyone else.
Got it. Okay, let's see. I Buddy, chill. Buddy, chill. Oh, I need to... Oh, shit. Hey, buddy. Oh my god. Come on, run. Isaac, Dead Space, run. Oh god. Oh god. These things are scary and I don't like them very much. Really not a fan. Thanks for the large med pack. Gotta use it. Thank you.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Shaquette, you restore your life by using these little med packs, which I just used. And yeah, you'll see that my spine is green again, which is good. That's where I want it to be. I want it to be green. All right, let's see. Take cover? Where do I go? I gotta go over here. Offer check, thank you, lower money. Speaking of spines, check out the spines. Alright, space. Let me save. Alright, this is a good place to save. Take a little pause. I'm gonna re-up my tea. And we're gonna take a brief toilet potty break. So everyone, BRB. Well, I'll let you watch the cat while I'm gone. Hang tight, everyone. Hello, I'm back. I just wanted to quickly say if Ellie's here, Ellie cosplays, that I got this. And I love it. Thank you for sending this. I don't know why it's not showing up, but that was Broadcast Come On Let's Go. Broadcast great band. So we got this. Thank you for that. Gonna figure out where to put that. It's a sticker. And oh no, Ellie just left. Oh no, shit. Everyone drink your piss. Great recommendation, Passion. Thank you. Very glad we have that. All right, back to it. And a big love and a thank you again to Hermie for the resub too. I missed that earlier, I think. Sorry about that. All right, welcome back to it. Let's game. I love to game. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Are we going? Yeah, okay. Okay, oh, come on! Oh, jeez, okay. Well, what am I supposed to do about that? So sick of this, guys. I didn't think I was gonna survive that, Shreese. I don't really know what happened there, but all right.
Remember, when you reach the morgue, find Captain
For the
Matthias'
sip,
body.
everyone sip
Get
your
his
piss.
Greek codes, and the computer's all ours.
It's time. What does that mean? Okay. Let me just open this up.
Security clearance required.
Okay. Fuck you. Don't talk to me like that. Noodle Nudes, it is piss. It's very yellow, so the green screen it's getting blanked out by the green screen. But it's really yellow piss. Extremely yellow. Did I see what? Did I see what?
Move and transmit to all personnel. This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is overwhelmed. We need help.
Oh, I forgot I have like a
Look at his
personal
wounds.
stake in this.
Can't
This is
handle
my
so many
lover.
trauma cases, and the
I
command
forgot about
crew
that.
won't tell us what's happening. Susan,
Alright, I forgot about that aspect.
maybe I have some PHP left.
Alright, find the captain's body. What's this thing? Oh my god. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Is that like that's a stasis bomb, isn't it? That's what that looks like. That's fun. Okay, yeah. I'm sure what this says is people are turning into scary alien things. I'm sure that's what that's saying. Come on. I gotta step on some things. Gotta step on some guys. Where's the... Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Show me your hands. Show me your hands, baby. Baby, show me your hands. Oh, come on. I was dealing with your friend. Fuck you. Both of you eat shit. Okay. Another friend. Come on. You suck! Oh my god, there's so many of these guys. Stop doing this. Stop it. Fuck you. Eat shit. Thank you. Yes, eat shit and die. Thank you. Eat shit and die. Fuck you. God, I'm so people, man. These people. Inventory full? What are you talking about? Okay. I guess I might as well use my med pack then. All right. Oh my god. Okay, guy. Listen up, kid. Yeah, show me your hands. Thank you. These are my least favorite guys. They're too fast. You got the tail. I hate that. I hate that about them. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, where's the baby? Stomp on the baby. Anything over here before I go that way? Anything good? Got any treats? Any piece of candy for me? Mart, I love the idea that, thank you for permitting the term F off. I love the idea of the automod watching this chat and thinking that it's still important to censor F off. Gotta draw the line somewhere. Okay. Passion, thank you. It would be an honor to be canceled by you, Passion.
Request retrieved.
You left me. I woke in the dark with them scratching in the walls. Scratching like rats. And you all locked me in with them. Fuck it. I'll cut them out. I'll cut them out. I'll cut them out.
Oops. Passion, thank you for canceling me. It's an honor to be canceled by an adult for once. Let's see here. Okay. Ay. Okay, guy. Okay. Give me your legs. Thank you. Give me your legs. Oh, there's another one? Fuck you. Come on. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. I gotta go.
The situation's worse than Captain Science will admit. 40% of the colony's population is now showing symptoms. Depression, hallucinations, more violence. People are dying down there. I know it's linked to the marker somehow, but I just don't have enough data. Mercer, maybe I was wrong. We need answers by any means possible. That patient, Brent Harris, might be our last hope.
I don't need... Look, I guess it's important for the game. You're creating atmosphere and learning out what's going on here. I don't need audio logs to tell me it's fucked up on this ship. You know? Every audio log I pick up is like, wow, it's all fucked up. And, you know, I'm piecing that together. I'm catching the drift. So, you know, it's just... God, fuck. Okay. Spooked. I want to step on another baby. Let's go find a baby to step on. Okay. Scan rig to unlock workstation. Where? Where do I scan it?
Level 2 security.
Oh my god, okay.
Required.
Alright, give me that juice. Saving. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Great, awesome. Cool, great. Show me your hands. Put them up. Oh, really? Jerk. Thanks, baby. No power in the morgue, huh? Oh. Take that, thank you. My name is Isaac Dead Space. Thank you for the ACABs in the chat. Thank you for the ACABs in the chat. How come this whole ship is just autopsy rooms? I feel like this whole ship is medical beds full of bodies of people who are about to turn into spider monsters. What do they do here? Oh, there's the captain. Excuse me. Okay, okay. All right. Okay. Guess I got a boss fight. Excuse me. Oh, I see. That's how that works. Got it. Okay, Capitan. Let's, Oh. Okay. Oh, really? He's still alive after that? Jeez Louise. Okay. Well, there's a few bad people out. Oh, I thought there was a door. Okay. Still alive? Come on. I thought the one hand was enough to do it. Oh, jeez. They're behind me now? Oh, I'm out of the bullets? That sucks. Oh, jeez. Okay, gotta go. Gotta slide out of here. Excuse me. Excuse me. I can't jump. I can't jump. Ay, ay, ay. That's enough of you. That's enough of you, okay? Fuck you. Okay, 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 okay. I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Okay. Eat that. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Okay. There's no way to win with these guys. Can I... Give me a hand. Give me a hand here. Oh, God. That worked. Oh, that's pretty fun, actually. Pretty nice how you can do that. Alright, so those guys are stronger, it seems.
Isaac, what's your status? Do you have the captain's rig?
Fuck me! Ugh. Transmitting codes now. I saw it, Hammond. A flying one turned the captain's body into another one of those things. The same must have happened to Chen.
God. Maybe
Dinky
the command
ass
computer has something.
Isaac. Can you believe the protagonist of this?
Head back to the security checkpoint. It's safer.
This guy Isaac
At
Dead
least I can
Space.
upgrade your clearance.
You know, we've been played Last of Us. We had sexy ass Joel. We had We had Arthur Morgan, and we got this Isaac Deathspace being like, "Holy cow! I just saw something wild. I just saw something crazy. You wouldn't believe your eyes." Okay, the autopsy report says it's all fucked up. Everything's all fucked up. Autopsy report says the whole situation's fucked. I'm not hating on Isaac. I'm just saying he's, you know, kind of a dinky little guy. And I've been loving all these himbos that we've been playing as. And this guy's just like a little bit goofy. Oh, it's not about size. It's more about the fact that he's a rinky-dinky sort of guy. Which is no problem, again, like, you know, if you're into the dinky beat, then that's cool. But this is, I mean, just, he's an action hero right now. He's just not very daddy.
Clearance confirmed.
Not being very daddy. Out of the bullets of this thing? Thank you, Kenzie. And what was that, a sip or was that a, sorry, that was a, what did I just miss? I missed a redeem. Hold on, what was it? Yo, Kiss Girl from Rusty Savage. Okay, hang on. Rusty. Love this. See if I can get Sadie. Hold on. Hang on. Sadie. Come on. Enjoy your life. Okay. Getting back to it. Couldn't get Sadie. I tried. Okay.
Isaac.
Oh, here. What the hell's happening?
The computer says the Ishimura's engines are offline. We're on a decaying orbit toward Aegis 7.
Oh, God. I have to get to engineering.
There's no time. That tram station's offline. Unless... Here. Head back to the flight deck. I'll guide you from there. If this damage report's right, there's a shortcut to engineering.
Okay. Where's the shop? I need the shop.
Clearance confirmed.
Yeah, node. Alright. Where's that shop? There it is. Okay, I got the money. Inventory capacity, more armor. Gel pack. Get some of this shit. Do you hear that whisper? Do you know what that's all about? Alright, well, this might be a decent place to call it actually soon. I'm gonna see if I can just get some more of this. I want to do album of the day. Buy a couple of these med packs maybe. And then, I mean, it seems like I'm about to get to the next section of the game, so this is probably a decent place to pause. But let's do. Okay, give me a sec. I'm gonna do album of the day. It's Vogue. Vogue is the album of the day. You have to just give me 1 second. I gotta think about it for a sec, okay? BRB, and then we will Vogue together. 1 sec, BRB. So, word of the day for album of the day is Vogue. For me, that is classic house, fashion. It's vocal, classic house, a little sexy, but it's gotta be from that like peak era of like late 80s, early 90s. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite classic house tracks. I can play a couple. First one is gonna be ESP. It's You. It's gonna be one of my favorites here. So let's check this out here. Oops. Gotta pause that first. All right, this is It's You by ESP. I'll kick it to the BRB real quick and you can enjoy it real quick. It's a banger. Absolute track. That's a good idea, Passion. Thank you. I would appreciate the help. Yeah. I think it'd be really nice to do a little album of the day screen, but so this is only one track, so I feel like I gotta do some others here. Let's do a couple other very early house classics. This is another like very sexy. Let's do Brighter Days. This is a pretty classic one here. All right, this is Cashmere. This is another classic, famous house track. On and on. It's maybe a little obvious, but it's a classic. Let's listen to another classic, and then I'll bring another classic after this. But enjoy. All right, this is me DJing without my DJ gear, but I would bring it next. I would like to put forward Robert Owens, Bring Down the Walls, another classic. Larry Heard produced. The two of them, Larry Heard, Robert Owens. Larry Heard, also known as Mr. Fingers. You might recognize him as his name, Mr. Fingers. Sorry about the transition, Passion. It's the best I could do. See you in a sec. That's the classic. I'm just trying to run through. I'm trying to run through as many classic house tracks. I don't know how obvious all of them are, but this is another banger. I like Chippy. This is a good one. You know this one? Although, is this the right edit? I don't know if this is the right one. Wait, no, this is the right one. No, that's not the right one either. Fuck. All these records had like a million fucking mixes pressed to the record. Which one was the right one? I mean, it's still good. What about... What's that, Passion? I'll check that out. Let's... Okay. Let's see it. This is where the fursuits really start. This was released this year? Oh, it's 20... Oh, YouTube has the wrong information. This is definitely the sound effects. I got it. I understand. I understand. I see what's happening. Yeah. I can see it. I can see it. Giselle Belly, we're just at the end here doing album of the day, listening to a little music together, but welcome in. I get it, Passion. I get it. I get it. Cunt. Yes. Got it. Got it. I understand. I understand. Yes, I understand. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I got one more. BRB. So, I'm not sure that I can top you on the theme here. But I got one more for y'all, and then I'm going to send you elsewhere. And that is this one. Yeah. All right, this is the Pal Joey edit of How Do You Say Love, the D-Light track. Seamless transition, classic seamless transition. All right, last song. I'll see you all later. Ciao. Love you lots. Bye-bye.